All right, we're back with Smarter Scouting with SkillCorner, our short video series that focuses on the process of finding different player profiles within a specific position group, and this is episode 2. This time we are focusing on center backs. This is probably the position that has evolved the most in the last 20 years, as they went from being pure defenders to effective players on the ball. And we can think, for example, of Dean Huijsen now at Real Madrid, also because of his incredible passing skills, or on the opposite side, Mickey van de Ven, which is probably one of the fastest and most explosive guys out there. We are going into that direction today as we are actually looking at defining and finding ball playing center backs and physical center backs. What do they do? So the ball playing center back is clearly a defensive playmaker, is involved in build up, is able to break the opposition by passing through the first and second line of pressure, which is the rival midfield, inside the opposition defensive shape. Off the ball, so by looking at movement, we see that he's actually looking for spaces to receive, either below the ball line, so gaining space, or following the action forward. Useful metrics here to actually track, check, and measure all of these football specific behavior that we need to scout probably come from our game intelligence suite, and they refer to possessions in build up, so actually a specific phase of play, pass attempts through first and second last line, the rival midfield, and also again dropping off runs and support runs. So the physical center back is quite different. They are probably complementary profiles, but you can see that this guy is fast, explosive, is able to keep pace with the quickest forwards out there, really important. He tracks them back and faces 1v1 situations. He's a player who is able to either regain the ball directly or stop the opposition action directly, but also to slow down the opposition and turn dangerous situations that the team is facing into organized defense. So again, we go into physical metrics, peak sustainable velocity and time to sprint, which probably is the best way to measure explosiveness, but also into the game intelligence suite for tactical and technical behaviors. We have recovery presses, discussed in episode 1, and then direct disruption or regain percentage of all the on-ball engagements, as well as stop or reduce danger percentage, again calculated on all the on-ball engagement that the defender performs. So here we see that we are going from type of defensive action to qualitative output, and we are able to measure both. So once again, we go on the pitch. The ball playing center back is just there moving, either getting space below the line or following the action forward. He's passing the ball through the lines of pressure, either the first one or the second last one, the rival midfield, while the physical center back is fast, explosive, and it really helps us in defending. So again, tactical, technical, physical elements, they're all there, quite different from, for example, when you're working with event data where you only focus on the ball. Out of 10 metrics, we will probably again be left with just 3, quite general. If you think about dual swan, for example, they just really don't give us the type of context that we are in, nor we really have like a qualitative output. So again, the full picture is quite different. We see that we are missing a lot of information. On average, a player is just on the ball, as we know, for 3 minutes per game, and our mission at SkillCorner is to help you evaluate the remaining 97%. So let's go back on our web app lab to check some of the characteristics of the ball-playing center back and of the physical center back. All right, back to SkillCorner online tool, our web app lab, where you can actually perform your scouting process from day one once you have joined SkillCorner. So we are under the player scouting section. The season that we select is the 24-25, and again, the competitions are the big 5. Out of the 4 scouting tools, we are now looking at the scatter plot as we want to compare a population of player against 2 specific metrics. We are actually and obviously filtering down to central defenders, all teams for a less expanded age bracket. So we want to scout younger players between 17 and 25, actually. We go down in the scatterplot section and we actually select the two metrics that we want to compare. Here we have the pass attempts through first line of pressure and the pass attempts through second last line of pressure, so the rival midfield, because we want to check who are the central defenders that actually break the line the most through passing. Dean Huizen, clearly above average. Mark Gay, kind of above average as well. A clear outlier here in Van Eyck from Brighton and above Albion. So you can actually check who all of these players are. Now, if we go up and we want to select two metrics that are more specific, for example, to physical and aggressive center back, we just go here and say, for example, time to sprint and direct disruption or regain percentage, just like we have just seen before. So instead of these two guys, this time we are going for Van de Ven to see how he ranks in this specific matrix, and we see that he's above average for both, where obviously average time to sprint, the smaller the value, the better it is for us. Other guys interesting here, Seydou from Stade Rennes, Fayet from Stade Rennes, and obviously Kushunov from Manchester City. So again, really simple but useful tool to perform your scouting processes. Recap to close this second episode and see what we have actually just done together again. Compared hundreds of players in a few seconds in our scatter plot. Defined football-specific profiles, useful to understand fit with our game model, or just simply go through the scouting and recruitment processes. We have seen how easy it is to compare players in the scatter plots in a few clicks and completely no code. And obviously, we have included off-ball movement, passing on the ball, physical elements. So actually just going beyond the standards. So thanks again for following this second episode, and I hope to see you in the third one.